What you're proposing, or what the president is proposing here, does not sound like it's in keeping with American tradition when it comes to immigration. The Statue of Liberty says, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, yearning to breathe free." It doesn't say anything about speaking English or being able to be a computer programmer. Aren't you trying to change what it means to be an immigrant coming into this country if you're telling them you have to speak English? Can't people learn how to speak English when they get here?
Well, first of all, right now, it's a requirement that to be naturalized, you have to speak English. So the notion that speaking English wouldn't be a part of our immigration systems would be actually very ahistorical. The poem that you're referring to that was added later is not actually part of the original Statue of Liberty, but more fundamentally, the history, but more fundamentally,
you're saying that
history,
that does not represent
I'm saying that,
what
I'm
the
saying
country
that the
has always
notion,
thought of
I'm saying the notion that the,
I'm
saying the notion,
I'm sorry.
No,
that sounds like
Jim, let me ask you a question.
That sounds like some national park revisionism.
No,
the
what I'm asking you is,
Statue of Liberty
Jim,
has always
Jim,
been
let me
a
ask you a
beacon
question.
of hope to the world,
Jim,
for people to send
Jim, do you
their
believe,
people to this country,
Jim,
and they're not always going to speak
Jim,
English, Stephen.
Jim,
they're not
do you
always
believe,
going to be highly skilled. They're not always
Jim,
going to be
Jim,
so many
Jim,
people
I appreciate your speech. So, but
this
Jim,
whole notion of, well, they could learn, they have to learn English before they get to the United States. Are we just going to bring in people from Great Britain and Australia?
Jim, it's actually, I have to honestly say, I am shocked at your statement that you think that only people from Great Britain and Australia would know English. It's actually, it reveals your cosmopolitan bias to a shocking degree that in your mind, no, this is an amazing moment. This is an amazing moment that you think only people from Great Britain or Australia would speak English is so insulting to millions of hardworking immigrants who do speak English from all over the world. Jim, have you honestly never met an immigrant from another country who speaks English outside of Great Britain and Australia? Is that your personal experience?
Of course there are people who come
but that's not what you said, and it shows your cosmopolitan bias. And I just want to say,
it sounds like to you you're trying to engineer the racial and ethnic flow of people into this country.
Jim, that is one of the most outrageous, insulting, ignorant, and foolish things you've ever said, and for you that's still a really, the notion that you think that this is a racist bill is so wrong and so insulting. Jim, I apologize, Jim, if things got heated, but you did make some pretty rough insinuations.